Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. For today's video, the beer is courtesy of Keith from 93 Lumber, spelled out. Thanks so much, Keith. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out his channel. I will add him in the description box below. He is a great beer tuber and an even better human. So this is Free Will's Ralphius. This one's actually from 2021. It is Maple Walnut. Imperial Stout aged in bourbon maple syrup barrels with walnuts. 14.7% ABV. Let's see, I'll read it. This particular Ralphius variant is a blend of 1 part bourbon maple syrup barrel aged beer and 1 part bourbon barrel aged beer rested upon 30 pounds of toasted walnuts. The combined result is as advertised, reminiscent of chocolate chip pancakes topped with chopped walnuts and doused in fresh maple goodness. All right, so that's cool. So they did the maple bourbon barrel, and then they did a maple bourbon barrel, and then they did the walnut bourbon barrel, and then combined them. Very cool. Yeah, this isn't gonna slide on there. That's okay. All right, let's get into it. I'm a big fan of Ralphius, if you guys didn't know that. If this is your first one you're watching, check out my other Ralphius videos. Free Will is crushing it. Not a ton of head. Try to get a little bit more aggressive with my pour to see if I could get more of a head going. It's pretty dark, but there is brown there for sure. It's not just black. The legs have a brown tint to them. A little bit of lacing sticking around, not a ton, which isn't surprising given the ABV and the lack of a lot of head. Actually, at this point, there's just a little bit of head sticking to the side of glass. There's nothing in the center at all. Let's get into the aroma. Definitely get some nice chocolate, some sweetness, a little bit of like bourbon booziness is coming through, which is nice. I get a slight nuttiness, not a ton. If I was doing this blind, I wouldn't think it had a nut, like a walnut in it. I would just say this is a nuttiness that the beer is kicking out with the core 4, you know? The bourbon booziness does lead me to barrel aging, obviously. But the nuttiness, yeah, I wouldn't go maple. I wouldn't go to walnut. I wouldn't say I get a ton of maple in the aroma. I'm curious. I think the taste, I'll probably get some. Soft vanilla. The chocolate has some complexity. It's milk chocolate, a little bit of dark chocolate. I'm getting more of that nuttiness the more I smell it. And you know what's funny? Part of it is I get a little bit of brownie, and it does remind me of, like, when I make brownies, which is not often. I should make them more often. I love brownies. But like ice cream, I don't mind if there's chunks of stuff in it. But for some reason with brownies, I just want brownies. Sometimes the peanut butter swirl in the brownies. But I don't like chopped walnuts in brownies. I don't like a crunch with brownies. But I've eaten them, right? So like when I go to that brownie element of when I'm smelling it, I think it's because there is some walnut there. It definitely goes to like the sensory memory of eating brownies like that. A little bit of chocolate frosting as well, which I also like on brownies. But anyway, it smells really good. Let's get into the glass. Cheers. Thanks again, Keith. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so I do get maple on the taste. A little bit of vanilla on the taste too. Those are the two big. Wow, this is really good. Wow, great level of bourbon. The vanilla, and again, this doesn't have vanilla. The vanillin I'm getting from the barrel aging. It's super pleasant. It's playing well with that maple. I think it's kind of helping accentuate the maple even. It's not like straight drinking maple syrup, of course, but man, it's there. And it reminds me the most, and this is going to make it sound sweeter than the beer is, although it's relatively sweet, is it reminds me of that maple cotton candy that I've had once or twice in my life. Kind of like this airy maple syrup. So it's not like you're taking a shot of maple syrup, you know, that like that intensity, but it's got the sweetness, the sugar, and again, this is not that sweet. And then this like soft mapliness to the other things you're tasting. The chocolate's killer in this. Just the base stout, at least for this vintage, is pretty chocolate forward, which is nice. Some of that chocolate frosting. But I tell you what, and again, it is a pretty sweet beer, but it's not cloyingly sweet. It reminds me of maple frostings I've had, vanilla icings I've had, some chocolate frosting I've had, but there's dark chocolate elements also, so definitely some complexity with the chocolate. The bourbon and a little bit of wood coming through, which is nice. And I don't get a lot of walnut taste, so it's it's got the maple that I want when I see a beer like this. I love maple. I'm trying not to talk about how much I love maple because I do it every video I do that has maple in it. But I don't get, like, if a beer has nuts in it, I don't typically get a lot of that flavor. So I'm not surprised. It just either it doesn't impart a lot of flavor, or I'm just not someone who picks up it easily. So I'm curious if anyone else has had this, if they thought it was particularly walnutty. But yeah, super delicious beer. This is phenomenal. As someone who absolutely loves maple, I am not mad at this, to put it mildly. Again, guys, make sure you check out Keith. I will add him in the description box below. Once you're done checking out Keith and his channel, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.